Hey, what is up YouTube? Welcome to today's second upload, and this one's going to be an overused match against my good friend JDW 142. We had this game a couple days ago, but it is a great match, but it was hacksy and some unfortunate misclicks will kind of cost one of us either the game, but you'll have to watch the whole video to find out who wins. And immediately off, I lead off with my choice scarf Landreas, and he leads off with this Obama Snow, and I know that most Obama Snows carry the Ice Shard, so I'm definitely not going to stay in there. And he does go for the Ice Shard as I switch into my Heat Ran, and I will be able to take that very nicely because it is quad resisted, and there is some valuable information right here as he does have the Ice Shard, obviously, and he is Life Orbed, so he's not going to be Choice Scarfed and locked into one move. And now I switch into my Landorus, kind of predicting a switch because obviously his Obama Snow cannot stay in, and he switches into his Tentacruel as I switch into my Landorus, and this is a good matchup for me. So she just goes for the protect, scouting which move I go for, and I do believe, yeah, I go for the Earthquake right here because I didn't really think I would be punished that bad if I just did lock myself into Earthquake. So he just switches out, and I just stay in and go for the Earthquake again because I don't really think there's too bad of a consequence like I said before, because he does go into his Obama Snow, and he does take that very nicely, and so I just switch out because I cannot stay in, obviously, and I go into my Cloister. Oh, and by the way, I think half of my team is nicknamed after somebody and their song, so I think obviously right now you should know who it is. So I go into my Cloister and sponge whatever attacks his Obama Snow can go for. But this Wood Hammer does so much. I didn't expect it to do this much because this Cloister is actually physically defensive with Rapid Spin, so I freed myself from Leech Seed right there, and my Cloister is going to live to see the end of the day. And so I just switched it out. So I switched it out because I kind of wanted to. I thought it had some potential later on in the game, so I switched out into my Heat Ran. And he goes for the Leech Seed because I can't do anything to his Obama Snow, so that was a pretty good move. He's just going to get some residual recovery and some residual damage on me. So that was a good play. And now I know he's going to go for the Protect, but I can't really do anything about it. I could have switched out, but I just go for the Stealth Rocks because it does bypass the Protect. And that's one thing I can do because this Heat Ran is actually especially defensive. So, oh, and this nickname, this Heat Ran is supposed to have the air balloon, so that name would make sense, but in this situation it doesn't, so that's just a little fun fact there. And now I go on to my Celebi because I kind of didn't have anything. Well, I knew he was going to switch out, so I switch out into my Celebi, and he goes onto his Tentacruel, and this is kind of a neutral matchup for both of us because he has Poison Water, so no, it's not. What am I talking about? I have Stab Psychic. So I kind of predicted him to switch out, and as I go for the Nasty Plot, and I get my special attacks. But why do I forget that Tentacruel has Blizzard? I mean, hello, it is a Hail team, but he just goes for it, and it is a solid 2-hit KO. But he does get the crit. I don't really find it that it matters, so it's just I shrug it off, and it's just like one of those things where it kind of hurts, like stepping on a rock when you're just I don't what am I talking about? I don't know, forget it. So he just goes for the Protect, trying to get some residual damage, or just scouting out which move I go for. And the residual damage he's trying to get on my Celebi isn't going to work because I do have the leftovers on my Celebi, so I will not be getting that damage from the Hail. And now I go for the Giga Drain, kind of predicting a switch, and I guess he predicts that as I go for the Giga Drain, as he stays in, and he goes for another Blizzard. And I believe I live this one with a low amount of HP because the crit did matter. Yeah, I live it with 58 HP, but he gets the freeze. So my Celebi is kind of like a sitting duck over here, so it can't do anything because obviously it is frozen. And I don't really have a plan for this because, I mean, what else can I do? It is frozen. I can only hope for the first turn thaw out, but I don't get it, so my Celebi is dead. And now, that is kind of an unfortunate loss to my team because Celebi is a special sweeper. I think it is the only special sweeper on my team except it's Alakazam. Now this Alakazam does have Magic Guard, and he doesn't know if I'm Life Orbed or Focus Sash yet, so that's kind of good for me to bluff. And I kind of want him thinking that I am Life Orbed, but I'm pretty sure I've already told him to set. It is Psych Up with no, it's Focus Sash and Psych Up. So if a Pokemon tries to boost up a Calm Mind or something, I can come in freely and then Psych Up and take those boosts and just kill it myself. So he just switched in his specially defensive Heat Ran as he doesn't want his tentacle to take a hit. And now I go for the focus blast on the heat ran, and I miss it right here, which doesn't really matter because it is resisted on the Reuniclus's part. So I switch out into my Landorus, and he goes for the sidekick. So that is going to take a very decent chunk out of my Landorus, and because of this, the hail being up, I am taking residual damage as I am choice scarfed and I have no form of recovery. So I have to kind of watch my switch ins because I don't want to take any more hailstorm damage. And now I go into my heat ran because I don't really have anything to do for this Reuniclus, so except for my Alakazam's Shadow Ball, but I kind of wanted to roar this out because I wanted an easier way to deal with it. So he goes for the Calm Mind, and I'm pretty sure I go for the roar this turn because I don't want him setting up on me. Yeah, I go for the roar, so that's one threat out of the way because he is at +1 attack and special attack. No, special attack and special defense. So I roar him out into his Kyurem, and this is a neutral matchup, and I just go for the protect, scouting out which move he wants to go for, and I believe he just goes for the focus blast. Yep, he goes for the focus blast, and I'm kind of hoping that this one will miss because I am going to stay in and fire off a lava plume because it's the only thing I can do, and he does miss the first one, so that's unfortunate for him, fortunate for me. So it's looking pretty good for my heat ran right here because I do believe I can take 2 since this Kyurem is choice scarfed, I want to believe, because it is the only viable thing on his team left that can wield the choice scarf effectively. So he goes for the focus blast, and I get the special defense drop, but it doesn't matter because I can only live one more hit no matter what it is. So I get my lava plume off on the Kyurem, and he is at red health, so I'm just going to protect right here for no real reason. I just kind of wanted to, yeah, I don't know why I protected, so it's just kind of a waste of a turn because neither of us are taking residual damage, and he just goes for the focus blast again. So that is going to take my heat ran out, and I believe I just bring in my Landorus on the switch in. We'll see. Yeah, I go into my Landorus because I'm pretty sure I can outspeed, and I was hoping I could outspeed at least and go for the earthquake and revenge kill it. So that's one fast threat out of the way for my Landorus to just kind of go on a rampage here. But he does have the Obama Snow, and he does have the Ice Shard, so I cannot do anything to that. I have to switch out into my Cloyster. He goes for the Ice Shard because he doesn't want to risk anything. If I did go for the U-turn or Earthquake, neither would have done a lot. So he just goes for the safe Ice Shard. He could have gone for the Leech Seed, but that's just hindsight's 20/20, and we can't change that. So I go for the only move that I can go for, the Ice Shard, because he would just take me out this turn with a Wood Hammer. And due to the Life Orb recoil and the recoil from Wood Hammer, he is going to take himself out here. So it is a double down, and I'm just going to switch into my he goes into his Tentacruel, and I go out into my, what did I go out to? Oh, my Alakazam, because my Focus Sash is still intact, and I can just go for the Side Shock to take this Tentacruel out. But I kind of predicted the Reuniclus to come in because he does resist the Side Shock, and it is kind of obvious of what I would go for. So I go for this Shadow Ball here, thinking that at first I didn't think the Shadow Ball would KO, but it does, so that's pretty good. Now he goes down to his Reuniclus because I think he's down to his Reuniclus and that Pokemon holding Cinder Blocks. What is that called? Oh my god. Oh, Conkeldurr. That's what it's called, Conkeldurr. So he just goes for the side kick here and gets a special defense drop as I go for the Shadow Ball, and it looks like a 2-hit KO. And this is going to be guaranteed because I did get that special defense drop on the Shadow Ball. So that is one dead Reuniclus, and he goes out. No, he has his Heat Ran and his Conkeldurr left, so he does have a special wall. Now I go for the Focus Blast here. It's going to hit, which is good, and his HP is going down, and guess what? It lives with like a little sliver, but he makes a misclick right here. This misclick, we both agreed that it was, we were both pretty sure it was game changing because his Heat Ran does live on like the sliver of health, and I just go for the Side Shock on his Conkeldurr as it comes in, and it's going to do a good chunk. But since his Conkeldurr probably has physical bulk, and I do have the Side Shock which does physical damage, it is going to live it, and he's going to Drain Punch my Alakazam and not kill it. But this next turn he's going to go for the Mach Punch, so it will definitely take my Alakazam out. And I have my last poke, which is Actually, I don't remember. I'm sorry. I should probably just not keep this stuff in my head, but oh yeah, I have my Terrakion left. So this is a choice banded Terrakion. I could have gone for the quick attack, but I'm pretty sure even a banded quick attack would not take that Conkeldurr out. So I just go for the close combat, and that is definitely going to kill a Conkeldurr at that low amount of HP, and that will be the game for me. I'm sorry, JD, for that little hacks part right there. Well, it's not really hacks, but it was a misclick, but that was definitely game changing, and I hope you guys I hope you got wow stuttering Jesus. I hope you guys all enjoy this battle. Please check out JDW142. His link will be in the description. He is a great guy, a great battler, and he's just a really cool person in general. So it would mean a lot to me if you just checked him out. So leave a like, comment, rating, or subscription if you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later.